Bienvenidos todos a esta tercera jornada, viernes 7 de agosto, día en que conmemoramos un año más de la independencia de Colombia, perdón, en la batalla del puente de Boyacá en Colombia, la cual marca un ícono en la independencia de nuestra historia. Por favor, todos de pie o atentos a nuestro himno nacional de la República de Colombia.
Muy buenos días para todos. Damos inicio a esta tercera jornada del ciclo virtual de experiencias significativas educando en tiempos de pandemia. Good morning everybody, bonjour à tous, bienvenue à ce cycle virtuel d'expériences significatives éducation en temps de pandémie. Nous sommes et nous faisons l'histoire. Estamos muy felices de compartir con ustedes en estos días de tanto aprendizaje y les agradecemos a ustedes por su maravillosa participación en este evento. Hoy, 7 de agosto, conmemoramos 201 años de la batalla de Boyacá y para celebrarlo los invito a escuchar un tema musical de la agrupación Promesa de mi pueblo. Esta agrupación nació con el objetivo de seguir llevando las tradiciones ancestrales de la música carranguera dentro del municipio de Aquitania. En este departamento de Boyacá se destacan por ser una de las agrupaciones musicales más importantes en el momento. Ellos comenzaron su trayectoria musical hace 5 años, compartiendo tarima y presentaciones con varios artistas muy reconocidos, conociendo así muchos lugares de nuestro bello país. Sus integrantes son Roberto Antonio Plazas en el requinto, Julián David Rodríguez en el tiple, Ángel Dubán Chaparro en la guitarra, Yanir Hernández en la guacharaca y como vocalista tenemos a nuestro querido profesor Javier Rodríguez, docente del Instituto Internacional de Idiomas, a quien damos la palabra.
Good morning, everybody. Bonjour à tous. Muy buenos días a todos los presentes. Let me introduce myself. My name is Javier y yo soy profesor a la université. Permítame su merced de paso agradecer por tan bonita labor el docente ser. Me invitaron a este evento, pero que era en inglés y en francés. Menos mal que me enseñaron disque hablar en los tres. I speak English, say the American people, and je parlo en français, dice le francés. Pero nosotros en Boyacá decimos, su merced, buen día, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo le va? Dios le bendiga y le regale bondad. Un tintico le apetece para empezar la mañana y terminar el evento de ciclos esta semana, de talleres, conversatorios y también de ponencias que nos traen los docentes en sus diarias experiencias. La pandemia nos obligó a dejar nuestros salones, pero la tecnología nos brindó herramientas y emociones. They talk about feelings and emotions, tools, motivation, and a lot of interaction. Invitados especiales nos traía este evento. Ya tenemos historia para narrar este cuento. Y como dice el maestro Velosa, lo poco que cuesta un tiple y lo bonito que suena, lo mucho que cuesta un rifle y lo tan feroz que suena.
Muy bien, profe Javier, muchísimas gracias por esa bella intervención.
Promesa del pueblo, nos presentamos con esta temita, así como su Boyacá. Dice, muchachos.
Siempre que miro injusticia reacciono y no me dejo. Contesto de esta manera, sí señor o no señora, como contestan los viejos. Soy boyacense berraco donde quiera, soy lo mismo, me gusta decir de frente, soy de mi pueblo nativo. Soy boyacense berraco donde quiera, soy lo mismo, me gusta decir de frente, soy de mi pueblo nativo. Pa' enamorar y echar coplas aprendí yo desde chino, porque estas cosas hacían los abuelos, fue el camino. 4 deseos cumplió este noble corazón, el de amar a una mujer, trabajo, tiple y canción. 4 deseos cumplió este noble corazón, el de amar a una mujer, trabajo, tiple y canción. Trabajar no me da miedo, por el contrario lo busco. Si me mandan yo hago caso, bien lo hago y no me disgusto. Dese una vuelta al país a ver cómo le parece. Trabajando encontrar un boyacense. Dese una vuelta al país a ver cómo le parece, trabajando encontrar a las manos de un boyacense. Cuando el vecino se vale, si lo tengo se lo presto. Me gusta apreciar lo del, pero valoro lo nuestro. Es la herencia que cumplió, que mi padre me ha dejado, irme con mi triple a fiestas y bailar patiboleao. Es la herencia que cumplió, que mi padre me ha dejado irme con mi tiple a fiestas y bailar patiboleado. Boyaco que canta y baila pasa una vida sabrosa. Ya así vivo yo tocándole el conejo a las muchachas como hace Jorge Velosa. Dios me dio esta profesión y nací compositor. Donde quiera canto y digo boyacense, sí señor. Dios me dio esta profesión y nací compositor. Donde quiera canto y digo boyacense, sí señor.
Merci beaucoup. De colegios e institutos asistieron al evento, de universidades vinieron a escuchar nuestros talentos. De mentalidad se habló y también de inmersión. Ambas cosas tan bonitas que al público le encantó. Dejando su comentario, nos decían por ahí, very good, congratulations, it's fantastic to see all the people cheering so many things. Al profesor Alexander le queremos agradecer al Instituto de Idiomas porque somos UPTC. Al grupo Ciclos hoy le salen canas de tanta trasnochadera durante varias semanas. Y con bloopers y equivocos sale al evento adelante. Pero es que esto de la tecnología, qué cosa tan estresante. Nos disculpan la ignorancia y también el atrevimiento. Qué cosa tan berraca es organizar un evento. Ya decían por ahí que nos iban a sorprender. Felicitaciones a los de Ciclos, la supieron hacer. Hoy, 7 de agosto, ¿quién iba a pensar que íbamos a aprender y también a disfrutar? Y no solo hubo academia, también hubo talentos. El profe Billy, escritor, ¿quién imaginaba el cuento? El profe Dani y su banda, y yo con mis carrangueros, animando cada mañana y aperturando el evento. Con su apoyo en el evento, la profe Liz, ¿qué decir? Con chat, reuniones y mensajes sin fin. Al profe Dieguito, ¿quién iba a imaginar que Netflix, libros y cuentos nos iba a rifar? También le agradecemos por su acompañamiento, día y noche, a todos transmitiendo. Al profe Charlicito y el equipo de soporte técnico, sin ustedes no sabríamos qué habría sido el evento. Los dejo con otra cancioncita.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Nosotros somos Promesa Ejemplo. Vamos a interpretarles un tema muy bonito de Jaime Castro Filipichines titulado El Coguyano. ¿Cómo dicen, muchachos?
1, 2, 3.
Allá en el norte de Boyacá, un pueblo donde nací y me crié, tengo el orgullo de ser de allá, por eso nunca lo olvidaré, por eso nunca lo olvidaré. Y un muchachito y cuidaba ovejas, en la ribera cerca al nevado, hoy el recuerdo solo me queda de aquellos tiempos que atrás quedaron, aquellos tiempos que atrás quedaron. Canto al Cocuy, mi tierra hermosa, y a la provincia Santos Gutiérrez, toda esa gente es tan generosa que se distinguen por sus mujeres, que se distinguen por sus mujeres. También Panqueva, Espino y Huicán, Chisca, La Ovita y San Mateo, Aguacamayas voy a cantar, porque esos pueblos también los quiero, porque esos pueblos también los quiero. Soy el norteño que canta y goza, mi pueblo es para mi pueblo, que tanto quiero y no he de olvidar, que tanto quiero y no he de olvidar.
Y con esta me despido a todo el mundo agradeciendo por su asistencia constante al desarrollo del evento. Les dejo por ahí una profe calladita, pero que parla francés, qué cosa tan bonita. Thank you very much and merci beaucoup. Me voy a conectar en mi pequeño compu, porque las conferencias de ciclos no pueden parar. Ay, caramba, se me olvidaba que me toca sustentar.
Qué maravilla, profe Javier. Muchísimas gracias por esta bella intervención. Estamos felices acá que ya nos ponemos a bailar, a ver si nos calentamos con este frío tunjano desde donde hoy nos conectamos. Muchísimas gracias por esas bellas coplas. De verdad que este ha sido un evento lleno de muchos esfuerzos, de muchos días de angustia, de estrés tal vez, pero que es un resultado muy bonito del trabajo de todos y del Instituto Internacional de Idiomas que nos acompaña. Bueno, vamos a hacer una pequeña revisión de la agenda del día de hoy. Recordemos, ahorita a las 9 de la mañana, a las 9:30 de la mañana, tendremos Panorama de aprendizaje remoto con nuestros profes de Estados Unidos. A las 10 tendremos nuestro conversatorio central, Culture and Education, by Luis Nesbitt y Andrés Restrepo. Enseguida tendremos nuestro break para el lunch a las 12. Luego, hacia las 2 de la tarde, volvemos con evaluación formativa virtual a través de la herramienta interactiva Nearpod. Enseguida vamos con Mobile Apps del profe Javier Orlando, a way to make interactive formative assessment in the classroom. Enseguida, a las 3 de la tarde, 3:20, Challenges of Evaluating Online Learning, de un profesor del Instituto Internacional de Idiomas de Sogamoso. Luego van las profesoras de francés con una intervención acerca de las pizarras virtuales hacia las 3:50 de la tarde. Y finalizamos con unas presentaciones de grupo de la Universidad Distrital que nos acompaña también y estamos muy complacidos de tenerlos en nuestro evento. Así cerraremos nuestro evento el día de hoy.
Sí, efectivamente, la Universidad Distrital nos acompañará en cabeza de la profesora Eliana María Rubio Cancino y el profesor Luis Alejandro Moreno Sanguino, con la propuesta curricular en ABP y Plan de Acción de Virtualización para la Enseñanza de Lenguas, Cambios Pedagógicos y Metodológicos en tiempos de pandemia, seguido del acercamiento al Inverted Classroom Model durante la educación remota de emergencia, experiencias con estudiantes de alemán e inglés en la Universidad Distrital.
Así es, Dieguito. Entonces, yo pienso que sin más preámbulo, démosle la bienvenida a nuestros ponentes el día de hoy. Vamos a empezar el evento. ¿Estás de acuerdo?
Me parece. Muchas gracias, profesor Saulo. Muchas gracias, profesor Carlos. Bienvenidos, que nos están saludando desde ¿cuántas millas de distancia, profesores? Son muchas millas las que nos separan.
Muchas.
Pero estamos aquí unidos gracias a la tecnología desde en estos momentos calientes tierras de North Carolina. Que bueno, un saludo para todos los North Carolinians, si de pronto tenemos por ahí conectado, sí, se les extraña, se les quiere. Sí, y bueno, ellos nos van a compartir lo que se siente y lo que han vivido en estos tiempos de pandemia. Qué interesante saber lo que ha pasado en otros países, como el caso de Estados Unidos, en los que los sentimientos tal vez son diferentes, cosas tan de pronto efímeras que uno dice, bueno, el sentimiento de utilizar una mascarilla. En nuestra cultura colombiana, la mascarilla tú te enfermas y la utilizas sin ningún problema. Mientras que en Estados Unidos se ha generado un gran choque, incluso político, por decir uso o no uso la mascarilla para estar en los espacios públicos, si necesito resguardarme, si el virus es real. Bueno, esta politización que se ha generado en torno de estos tiempos de pandemia. Y qué curioso también saber qué pasa con nuestros compatriotas que ya llevan algunos años enseñando en esas escuelas en los Estados Unidos y cómo esta cultura, este choque de culturas influencia su quehacer docente. Entonces, profesores, the floor is yours. Bienvenidos. Welcome. Thank you.
Gracias, Diego, por esas palabras. Y antes de comenzar, hombre, felicitaciones a las personas que están aquí haciendo este evento posible. La verdad, me siento muy orgulloso de ser UPTcista. Le decía a mi compañero Carlos González que estoy con aquí la lágrima hasta que se me sale escuchando Carranga en Carolina del Norte, un 7 de agosto. Hombre, esto es monumental, hombre. Esto es increíble, estoy lleno de emociones ahorita, así que le voy a pedir a la audiencia que nos tenga un poquito de paciencia, que tenga empatía, como hablaban dos profesoras, creo que fue ayer, porque, hombre, 7 de agosto, ¿no?
Sí, algo que no saben nuestros profesores es, bueno, el perfil de ustedes. El profesor Saulo es licenciado en lenguas extranjeras de la UPTC. Él es un educador en Dual Immersion, en Spanish y English. Ambos profesores, junto con el profesor Carlos Alberto González, se consideran polímatas, es decir, esos expertos en todo lo que pueden ellos conocer, ¿sí? Aparte de todo, el profesor Carlos González también es estudiante de francés, siempre estamos aprendiendo. Y el profesor Saulo, él trabaja Learning Code using SQLite, entonces tiene conocimiento en la parte tecnológica y es estudiante de mandarín. Yo creo que con una profesora que le ha enseñado muchísimo, una profesora
la mejor profesora que hay en el planeta.
Sí.
Is the best teacher in the world, and I need to say it in English so she can hear me.
Yeah, we have to start that. Laia, thank you so much for listening to us. Laia is also a teacher. She's a Mandarin teacher and is Saulo's wife. So, best regards. Y el profesor Carlos en los Estados Unidos cumple el papel importantísimo de demostrar nuestro poderío en los deportes, siendo profesor, coach de fútbol, de soccer.
Uh-huh.
Bueno, profesores, sin más preámbulo, bienvenidos y gracias por esta participación.
Muchas gracias. No, es una maravilla estar en esta mañana, de tener toda esta representación cultural acá a través de YouTube. López Saulo, yo quiero aprovechar este momento muy especial para enviar muchos saludos a todos nuestros familiares allí en Colombia, especialmente en la región de cundiboyacense, en Boyacá, en Samacá. Mi abuela, la quiero mucho, abuela, mi abuela Rosamelia, allá en Samacá. Hay muchas personas que están conectadas con nosotros en este momento, a quienes les agradecemos por sintonizarnos. Es una mañana grandiosa y tenemos muchas cosas para compartir aquí junto con el profesor Saulo Concha. Voy a entonces a compartir la pantalla en este momento, profe, si le parece, estamos aquí. Listo. Tenemos entonces allí.
Bien, y comenzamos. We're going to start now in English, but we're going to do that switch if we need to go between English and Spanish as we go. And if you listen in the back, some Mandarin, that's my wife, so don't worry. It's a multicultural house. So this is start with COVID-19 and E. coli. This is where our narratives start. And it was a really tough day. That was a Thursday. Our students, they were on the way to the school, and we have a call from the mayor that we cannot open the school because we have an E. coli issue plus COVID-19. So that was a really tough day in the morning. We weren't able to say goodbye to our students. We have to wave them, saying like goodbye from the buses. They stayed in the parking lot almost the entire morning because we cannot have them in the school of this E. coli. So it was really tough. And then it came the weekend, and the emails can start coming to us, and we are feeling like that right now. If you can read it, So it was really tough that weekend, and the next Monday we are going to start doing that remote learning. So it was tough, and we were frustrated. If you can go click next, Mr. Gonzalez. We were really frustrated, but we took that frustration, those emotions, and we transform it into determination. That's the powerful message we want to give you at the beginning. And because of we did that, we went like this. Panorama del aprendizaje remoto durante la pandemia, Shiloh Valley Elementary School 2020, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, so we're going to start with this. We're going to talk a little bit about this experience during these pandemic times. And while you're listening to us, you will listening to something that evokes that experience as well. So here it is. We have this hashtags here: better together, future ready, empower, rising strong together. And here are our Twitter accounts, Mr. Aconcha's accounts and my account on Twitter. So you can follow us. We can share a lot of resources and a lot of experiences through this. So let's start with this, Mr. Aconcha.
Yes, where is Shiloh Valley, Mr. Gonzalez? Where is Shiloh Valley in the world? Well, of course, we are in the United States. There, in the red map, that's North Carolina. And more specific, that little dot inside North Carolina, that's Union County. That's where we are located. So that's where we are presenting right now.
All right.
And let's say a little bit more of our context, Mr. Gonzalez.
Sure. I think it's so important for you to know the context, and in that way you can see the experience and you can think a little bit more about our experience in this specific context. So our school is part of Leader in Me location. It's a Leader in Me site. So basically we have a philosophy here. So we have a philosophy of leadership, and our school services from third through fifth grade students. And the last year was the first year of a school. But this heritage, this school has been working with this community for more than 100 years. So that's something remarkable. It's not a new school. It's a school with a solid background. Mm-hmm. And is a symbol here in the community. And we're so proud to serve a Spanish dual language immersion. We have two fourth grade classrooms. Both are in one immersion in Spanish, and one was in charge of Mr. Aconcha, and the other one was in charge of myself. So our students' age are between 9 and 10. Majority of the students speak English. We have just one special case. And the next thing is about. Oh, you can go ahead, Mr. Aconcha. Sorry.
Yes, okay. We have one heritage students, and the average income of our family, so you can have an idea, it's like a middle class. And one particular thing that we want to emphasize is that most of our students, let's say all of our students, have internet access and personal computer access. But there is one thing that's nice that all have internet and computer access. But the thing here is that they need to share that same computer or with their older sister or the older brother or the younger sister and the younger brother. So it's just one computer per household. So they need to share it. So yeah, we have computers and internet, but just that particular case. The other thing is. We think that our students are in a B1 level of Spanish, so you also have an idea of how our students' language level is. And from this school, from this elementary, they continue the immersion program to middle school. And in the middle school, they will see social studies and science in the target language. That means Spanish, the target language. And that's our context. That's where we work. So Mr. Gonzalez were saying that it was the first year. Yeah, it was the first year because we merged two schools. We combined two schools and we become one. That's why we say in the hashtag better together. And that's why we have 1 year. We are 1 year old, but 100 years of history, Mr. Gonzalez.
Right. Okay. So here's a meaningful experience remote learning during pandemic. So we have 3 phases. Phase 1 is put first things first. That's the name of the first phase. The second one, Mr. Aconcha, is?
Phase 2 is synergize plus phase 1.
Yeah, and finally, we have phase 3, be proactive. So all these 3 phases are the ones that we're going to cover during this talk. And let's start with the first one. Let's go with phase 1. Put first things first. So phase 1, put first things first. So here it is. Here's the first step in these times of pandemic times. So the put first things first is a social and emotional learning that we had as a solid built in here, and in that way we could construct what we wanted. So we have different roles in here. We have teacher's role, student's role, and parents' roles. So for example, for teacher's role, we gotta check in on students on a daily basis, setting norms, weekly schedules, and goals to have successful online learning, to organize the time, because at this moment, all the times on all the schedules are kind of different. So here, it was so important to keep that good relationship through media, through Google Meets, through emails, through messages. So that's the main or the most important role of a teacher at this point, is to keep those relationships and having all this setting up expectations. And the next one, Mr. Aconche, is about students. Is that right?
Yes, and the students' role also very important, and to let them know that they need to put first things first, mean put the most important things in your life first. In that case, for the students, what will be eat well, sleep well, exercise, study, and family relationships. And we call those big rocks. And you will hear a lot of big rocks along the presentation. So when we are referring to big rocks, are positive goals. So they spend time on what is most important for them. So that's the role for them. Get those big rocks, planning along the week, and maybe the weekend too, and make sure that they accomplishes those positive goals, those big rocks. And of course, the role of the parents. We cannot do anything without the parents. I was thinking just it's like a triangle of, holding us accountable, parents on one side, teachers on the other side, and the students. And we put that triangle in place and we work together really strong. It's going to be amazing, an amazing job what we hear that we could, because parents are a key element here. They are supporters, assistants, they cooperative with us, they are frequent communicators, they email. There was a point that we were sending videos or Google Meets or Zoom to them, so they were coming to us, asking us for questions and everything, and of course to provide that data back to them.
And well, there's something remarkable at this point, because we needed to take about 2 weeks to work on this. But for some students was kind of different, but the 2 first weeks were, important. They were the most important weeks for us to have this foundation. Right after this, we can see the other things coming in and going in an easier way. So social emotional learning is so important for the first 2 weeks. It's key. That's right. So we have a school team providing psychological, emotional support during pandemic. And we as a community, we set up positive goals, having those big rocks, the most important things first, and connect with everyone. We have experiences working with different websites. One of those is the Corcho Digital. Is Padlet. It's so useful for you to keep on having those goals in place. And one more time, 2 first weeks, so important. It takes time. It's important. This is the most important. This is the foundation of the experience. And then what happened next is we took a couple of days during the week to work on check-in, to have all those goals, expectations, goal setting, and a Friday celebration. That was so cool for students.
Yeah, important celebration, right, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yeah, celebration is so important, Mr. Aconche. And you have a lot of good experiences about celebration, because that was the most expected day in the week.
Yeah, for them, thinking that we are teaching to kiddos, right, to children, and that goes with that in Spanish a little bit. Pasamos a un ensayo de error. Vamos mirando a lo largo de la semana qué nos está funcionando y qué no, y nos mirábamos con Mr. González y nos reuníamos y decíamos, hombre, ¿será que esto nos funciona? ¿Será que esto no? Miremos aquí. Es un aprendizaje continuo también para nosotros. Y esa parte de flexibilidad del maestro de poner el bilingüismo dentro de la clase, de aceptar que no siempre they are going to talk in Spanish, maybe, or they are unas palabras en English and otras palabras en español. Like, accept all that is coming to us, because they were really tough times. So, todo lo que íbamos recibiendo era bienvenido. Entonces, esa flexibilidad, maestro, importante. Plus, everything is constantly evolving and changing. That's super true, and that's why we put it in bold, because it's so important. Everything is changing, and we need to be flexible and keep up with the pace, and stay in your circle, and you will know later what is there in your circle mean. And that first weeks, the only tool that we have was the chat box, because we were like, we didn't know where to go, but that was the chat box that we started using through Google Meet. So let's take an example of how we use the chat box, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, let's go with the next one.
So in the chat box, you guys that are watching us on YouTube, you can tell us, what do you have for breakfast this morning? And I will read your comments on the chat. Don't be shy. Just let us know really quick. Maybe you have some changua.
If you gotta feel free to share what you see on the screen. If you didn't have any breakfast, it's okay. You can say that as well. Yes. And if you want to express that in French, I don't know, or in Mandarin, is all right. Feel free. We need to connect with this.
Yes. So you can kind of feel how the students were, the only way was through the chat or the microphones or the camera, trying to share how they were feeling, how they were saying. I know people is quite shy, but so that was the only way that we could connect the first time, trying to embrace whatever they are giving us through the chat box. And that was the first approach that we have. It was a synchronous approach, and everything that we can get from the chat. So, here we go. We have caldo de papa. How you can translate that, Mr. Gonzalez? I love caldo de papa too. Chocolate and bread. I love chocolate and bread. That's so amazing.
I miss this. I miss all these plates.
I miss delicious. The caldo de papa. I mean, that's. I love caldo de papa.
Mi abuela hacía este caldo de papa.
Arepa, the calf coffee, I love that. You see, and that was the first way, honestly, with the students to interact, to make sure they are eating well, to make sure that they are having those relationships with the parents, make sure they are exercise, and plus make sure they are reading or studying. So thank you for participating. Let's go with the next activity. Thank you, Chad.
All right, thank you. That's amazing.
Yes.
And there's something else, Mr. Akunche, that is basically we keep on practicing vocabulary in these terms. So it's good for them to keep on, practicing and having those images as a reference of that vocabulary that they have been building during all these years. Yep.
Yes, exactly. And there is another example here in the next slide that says chat box. What online platforms are you using? Then we start thinking what we can use to start teaching our online learning. Of course, the administration gives us a lot of options, and we pick these three, and you will see, you will notice later why. The Canvas, the iReady, and the Dreambox. That's asynchronous, that the students can go anytime and log in and work.
Okay. Here's another one.
Here is what Mr. Gonzalez was telling us before about the Padlet Corcho Digital, in which students were, writing their big rocks. They were using this Padlet to share with their classmates the positive goals for the week. And if you can, I hope you can read it. They're good examples. Mi meta es para practicar muchos diferentes cosas como Flipgrid y video, juegos, ayudar a mi hermano porque sí, y a mis papás hacer comida, like ramen. I mean, I love this comment. They put their big rocks for that week, and the classmates help each other to make sure that they check on in, and we check on them too. Every Wednesday and Friday, we celebrate how they did with these big rocks. So this is all social emotional learning. Those first 2 weeks that we have of pandemic, just on social emotional learning and positive goals, big rocks.
All right, so let's go with the phase 2, Mr. Aconcha. And it's about synergizing. It's to have all the work together, to be stronger together. So here it is. Here's an important planning and professional development at this point, because, well, we're going to go with teachers' duties, teacher responsibilities, and having a change of paradigm, a shift in the paradigm. So all of us, we're leaders. We lead our classroom. We lead our group. We have a part of this in the planning. We have a part in the professional development. So this is an important phase, because this is what we're going to plan towards, keep on teaching and keep on learning. Mm-hmm. So here is something important based on the backbone of our working here. That was basically a Canvas is a website for students, for parents, for teachers to have access to the resources. And we set up times and schedules, at least 90 minutes a day, for them to work on different tasks. Everything was integrated in one same place, that it was Canvas. Mm-hmm. All these websites were in one place. And there's something remarkable here in this experience, Mr. Aconcha. There was a key collaborative work around the county. So you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, because there was this problem of equity that not all of our students around the county were able to access to internet. We need to design some packages where they were mailed to the students. So they're bunch of photocopies with activities for reading, writing, and everything. And we need to sit down, all the Spanish teachers around the county sit down and come up with these packages. And that was an amazing key collaboration. And that makes me think, like, there is many teachers in English around a region, let's say like the Intensa, in Garagoa, and Guateque, and they are 3 different English teachers. You just join in and collaborate and make the work simple and easier for everybody. So that's the idea. You collaborate around your county to face this pandemic. Of course, we use Google Drive. We use that Google Drive sharing documents. That was really important, so everyone can be able to edit accents, and that was an amazing part of this process. And of course, we observe when students were developing those content, that we make sure we address power standards and language teaching, right? That if we are designing material, make sure you are based on the standards or language teaching points. Mr. Gonzalez, next.
Yes, we're going to go in deep with this, Mr. Aconcha. That's amazing. Working together is the best. Is great. We had that culture here, and we started with the leader in me, basically changing that leadership paradigm. So here it is, Canvas, and is the backbone, as we said. That was the most important website where you can put all those activities based on all the websites, but just in one simple place. And easy to manage, easy to control, easy to have a progress report weekly. And that's something that we're going to talk a little bit more on the phase 3. But here is a communicative task approach, and in the integration of receptive and productive skills. So we have here integrated all the skills. Is that right, Mr. Aconcha? We have.
Yes, that's totally right. It's not just emphasizing one skill, it's just emphasizing 4 plus 1. We are talking right now 4 plus 1, but that is meta-linguistic connection or cross-linguistic connections. So reading, writing, all the 4, and we put it there into Canvas. So we use puzzles, Flipgrid, my own, Flipgrid for talking and also writing and planning. I mean, the idea is to integrate all of them into Canvas, and that was a key component. Mr. Gonzalez, you're right.
Mr. Aconcha, did you mention that most of these ones are free? Is that right?
Yeah, most of these are free. There are a couple that were provided by the county, but and others were provided by our school. But the ones in the bottom, like Per Deck, Reading Lag, Padlet, Kahoot, they are free. I know you guys know you are experts too, back on the other side of the screen. So you know what are some of them are free, but there are others that were provided by our county. So that probably is another conversation, right, Mr. Gonzalez, that you can have with your administrative personnel, so how you can acquire these applications. But let's take a look in deep of how they look like in Canvas, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, I lost the connection for a while, but yeah, if there's any investment on education, these websites are, they worth it. They worth it, yeah. And
So
here's
this
an
is-
example.
Okay, sorry. This is how it looks as a asynchronous of activity on Canvas. This is for math, and this is the layout for week 6 and the lesson for Tuesday. The lección del martes, semana 6. There is a video and presentation. It's the same video, the same presentation that we use in the synchronous activity. So like in the Google Classroom we do, it's the same presentation. So they are going to see the same content synchronous, and they are going to find the same content asynchronous. So if you are in face-to-face or you are remote learning, you are going to students are going to access the same material. Then they're going to fractions, decimals. That's a forum, so they can write to. Then there's a small quiz, writing fractions with decimals and decimals. Then there are some questions. At the end, there is another external link where they go and also practice asynchronously a different web page where they can practice this specific standard that will be, I guess, use NF7. So this is how it looks like in Canvas. And you can go the next one, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, and here's another example of that. So we integrated all those resources in one simple place, but it takes some time at the beginning. So that's important to be collaborative, to be stronger together, to work together. With Mr. Aconcha, we did such a great job, working together, taking the time, be patient, and having all this structure, because later on you will see that when you have this structure, the next planning is going to be easier. So at the beginning it takes some time, but later on you will notice that everything is going to be easier. And I think that was the experience at the end. Is that right, Mr. Aconcha?
Yeah, totally agree with you, what you are saying. And building on that, I wanted you to pay attention to the end of this slide and how we give options to the students. That's also important. And you are building that step by step. It was not all this and I know Canvas from day 1 to day 2. No, it's a process. It's a process of learning too.
Okay, so let's do this.
Let's go to the Padlet culture. This is activity we want. I know we have a little time, so I know they share already the link. So if you can go, and there is some steps here where you can answer that question. Tell us about the online tools you have used so far and which ones would you like to know more in depth. So if you can go and write your comments, your answers there. What is the idea behind this? That you can connect with people that are experts on applications. That, for example, you already know how to use PerDeck, and there is someone who wants to know about PerDeck, so you can connect. So if you want to leave your, let's say your Twitter account, so just leave it there, and people can connect with you. So you become also an expert and you start collaborating in your country or in your area. So let's take a look who are playing there. I see a lot of comments already, Mr. Gonzalez. So there are a couple of examples there. I know, Mr. Gonzalez, you can go really quick down to the south of America and see which ones are.
And this is powerful. This is so powerful because when you have this in your classroom, this one is for free. Is that right, Mr. Aconcha? You
Yes,
don't have to pay.
You don't
Let's
have to pay.
see. There's no people in Cuba. Let's.
There is one in Chiquinquirá. I see one in Chiquinquirá.
I know from Samacá. We're gonna have someone from Samacá. I know my people is there in Samacá, in Boyacá. Let me see. Tunja.
Probably if you can see refresh, Mr. Gonzalez, and they start appearing, or
let me refresh it. All right.
All right.
Okay, let me go back.
Let me see. Go really quick.
Do we have anything new over there?
But let me see.
I can refresh it one more time.
Yeah, please. Do please.
Okay.
But we can't. The idea is that you can connect. Let me try to figure it like. Technology always,
And there's something that we have a delay, maybe.
Yes.
But it's gonna be all right. I think it takes a little while.
A little while, yeah. Oh, yeah,
They-
there is, I can't see them too. I have a bunch, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, let me see, because I cannot share that right now. Let me
But
see.
the
Let me see
thing
one more
is
time.
that they are gonna be there. They are not gonna be removed. Don't worry. So it's okay. The idea is you keep putting your comments there. So any part of the word, if you are, so you can connect with people that already know tools. So let's continue, Mr. Gonzalez. Don't
Okay,
worry.
that's right. Okay, okay, Mr.
Yes,
Aquacha.
for the sake of time.
Okay.
So
Okay,
this
let's
is
see.
another activity that we call stress check. So if you want to tell us on the chat right now how you're feeling, there is a scale there. This is something we use from per deck. So we can, again, check on your emotions. You know, this is a cycle. We always checking on that. So you can just type on the chat a number, how you feeling. If you are feeling confident to use the tool, that will be awesome. So I'm still, this stress check. I usually put it at the beginning of the slide presentation in a synchronous activity. So I get to know the students how they are feeling. And when I use predict, it's only show the results. These are only showed to the teacher. So the only one who is able to see them. So the students feel more comfortable to share how really are they feeling. So this is a very powerful tool for the stress check. Let's go with phase and the next phase, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay,
So
let's
this
see.
is-
Phase 3. Be proactive. And we're going to retake phase 1 and phase 2 on phase 3. Is that right?
Yes. So this phase 3 is really important because, you know, we came from social emotional learning, put first things first. Then we go to planning and learning, professional development, and now we need to provide feedback and progress monitoring. And the way we do that is giving the students feedback to keep them motivated, that they are getting results and they also getting some growth. And because of that, we are providing with next steps. So every time they come, they do something, we tell them, okay, that's a really good job. Now I want you check on the following steps. Step 1, make sure you check your spelling. Check 2, make sure you check the correct words. Make sure, give them some feedback and next step for the students. And in that way, provide feedback also means to keep our community informed. That means parents, administration, and in a two-way contact. If I send you an email, I hope a response. It's not just I send you an email and just I send the email. No, I just send an email and I hope parents to respond me that they understand or they have more questions. And of course, every Wednesday we were checking for participation. How many of our students by Wednesday have been logging, work on the forums, do a flip grade, or whatever activity we propose them. And we also provide that feedback and two-way. And on Friday, of course, we provide a little bit of more feedback and we celebrate. And all this data goes to the school and county level, so they know how many students in the county are actively engaged of the remote learning process. So it's all of the county knowing how well or how many students and parents are involved in this remote learning. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, those numbers are so important, so important. We need to keep tracking who are involved, who are participating, and having this information is so important because at the end, based on this, you can keep on planning. So that's the way we retake or we have in mind that we gotta go to phase 1 and phase 2 as well. And here is something else about staying in your circle. Here is an example of the progress monitoring. So this is RASKid's website. And you can see how many students are, working, how many students are reading, how many students are taking quizzes, how many students are scoring what they're supposed to score. So here's a great example of this based on RASKids.
And based on this, I'm sorry, Mr. Gonzalez, and based on this, you can take decisions and you can see, okay, I need to group make some differentiation by grouping. I want to group these students because of the number of books or based on the answers of their quizzes. So if you can go to the next one, Mr. Gonzalez, you will see that then we group the students. So you take that information, we progress monitor, and then we take decisions on based on those progress. And that's a way we differentiate by grouping. And every day we meet different students and we call Grupo de Avanzada. So that's an example of differentiation, Mr. Gonzalez.
All right, so here's...
There is, and I know there are going to be students saying, by when, by cuando, but you never tell us. That's not true what the teacher was saying. No way. And we just reply back, just stop playing Xbox, stop playing TV, put first things first, what is most important for you. And don't comment with that. Just try to, be that friendly guy too. Mr. Gonzalez.
Here's another example of the iReady platform, so we can keep on tracking how many minutes a student is working and how many lessons have they passed. And it's a great tool for us to keep on tracking what they are doing. Mm-hmm. And there's a celebration. There are a couple of emojis about the celebration. They love to see every single Friday for celebration. So we had the data to celebrate and to put all those students in the slides and saying, you made it. You can do this. You can put first things first. We are working together, better together. We have all those statements in place, and we keep on working with this.
And there is the why we use iReady, or why we use RASKits, because that's the only way to control and to track their progress. If some parents at the beginning, they were sending their kids to you different apps because they were like a wave of information and websites and everything, but teachers could access to them, like we didn't know what they were reading or what math exercises were doing. So we say to parents, hey parents, we need these students to start using this because it's the only way I keep tracking of them. It's the only way I know if they are doing well or not, and I can provide you parent with some feedback too, or with some progress of your student. And if we go to the next one, Mr. Gonzalez, and this is also feedback for us, because we design content and we put content on Canvas. And if you cannot notice just 3 students there, like what's going on week 5? I mean, we need to check if is the content clear? Is the target objectives clear? Is the activities with enough context so they can work on? Or because that's also another way to see feedback, not just feedback for students, feedback for teachers or parents. Also feedback for teachers and parents and administration. Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez, the next one.
Yeah, we're about to finish with this. Thank you.
We made it.
Thank you. We made it. Here's the circle of control. Many things are out of your circle of control. So think about this for a while. You're going to have this presentation for you to go over and see what are the things that you have in your control. And the idea is to have this circle, expanded and trying to have as much as possible control by ourselves as teachers. And stay in your circle of control. There are many different things that are going to change. Some things are going to be out of your hands. So no problem. It's going to be all right. You will see that everything's going to be all right.
You got this. This is another stress check. I know, but because of time, we cannot do it. And this is our phases of our experience. Like phase 1, put first things first, context, social emotional support, big rocks for students. Phase 2, synergize, plus phase 1, professional development, Canvas, planning, Google Drive, language teaching, online tools. Are you ready? Phase 3, be proactive, plus phase 1 and phase 2. Provide feedback, differentiate based on that data, and frequency over medium. That is very important. Be proactive instead of reactive. Mr. Gonzalez. We made it.
Okay. We made it, Mr. Acosta.
Biography. You want to access some of the titles that we were reading in order to put together these presentations, you can just go and check this out. That will be really cool if you continue learning. Teaching is continuously learning. We cannot stop. Whew, we made it. I'm sorry. Lady.
Thank you very much, Mr. Acosta, Mr. Aconcha, and Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you very much. We have some comments for you. Laura nos dice, qué gran lección para los niños, poner las cosas importantes primero, algo que se podría aplicar a las escuelas de Colombia. Totalmente de acuerdo, Laura, muchas gracias. Gloria Estela Daza nos dice, I'm very proud of you, of listening to you and see how you are doing, Patrick, in the distance. Thank you very much, Gloria. Álvaro Velázquez, I have worked with Raise Kids. It's a great software where you and kids can do lots of things. Interesting. So, thank you so much. It was a really interesting presentation.
Yep.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Paula, for having us today. Use the Padlet. The links are over there. Where you can connect with other teachers that are also, experts in the different applications and software that is available for you, even for free. I don't know if there are questions for us. No, it's okay.
We got no questions. How about that award that we have for this presentation for the audience?
The question? You mean the question, Mr.
Yeah. Let's pose a question to the audience so they can answer it and everybody can because
sure.
you guys are gonna have a special prize.
Okay, let me see. I have in here. The question is on your screens right now. Okay, we have a surprise. We have an award for you. Well, we have a prize for you. Actually, it's a prize. Yeah.
The question
You are the
is,
best.
We cannot see it.
Let me read it to you guys. ¿Cuáles son los nombres de las tres fases de nuestra experiencia? ¿Cuáles son los nombres de las tres fases de nuestra experiencia?
Escriban por favor su respuesta, estamos muy pendientes para este ganador. Quiero agradecer a los profesores. Muchas gracias por su intervención. Estamos muy felices. Los comentarios acá nos sigue diciendo la profe Ángela García. Estoy muy feliz, muy orgullosa de conocer las experiencias, el trabajo tan interesante de quienes fueron mis estudiantes.
Can I add something? There is a sense of closeness, like because we are far away and knowing that my teachers are watching this. It makes me feel how my students may feel when they were seeing through the screen, that feel of closeness and missing and wishing the best for those teachers. That's such amazing. And I want to thank you, Diego, for this experience. That's so amazing. Thank you, Diego.
Well, thank you guys for accepting this invitation. I know that you guys saw the call for presentations and you were excited to participate, and of course, it was a wonderful presentation you guys did. And you know what? I have to say, guys, you are the stars now. You are the. I mean, again, for all our teachers on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Do we have a winner yet?
Yes, we do. I'm checking here. The chat in YouTube. I'm sorry, lady. I know. And I'm so excited. So yes, there is oh, I missed it. No.
Eso pasa con el chat.
Yeah, that's what chat. That happened. Eso nos pasaba con el salón. Les tocaba decir, no, esperen un momento. Creo que es Liana Paola García Monroe. Y ella dice, put first things first, synergize and be proactive. Yes, Liana Paola García Monroe. I wonder where are you writing us from? So I guess that's the winner, It's the first one, right, Diego?
Okay, felicitaciones. Sí, okay. Well done.
Ahora, no olvides, por favor, diligenciar el formulario de asistencia para ponernos en contacto contigo para entregarte tu fabuloso premio.
Y no solo contigo, con todos. Todos tenemos nuestro formulario de asistencia, porque recordemos que este seminario es certificado por el Instituto Internacional de Idiomas. Estos 3 días, yo sé que han sacado de su tiempo y nos han acompañado, y qué bueno que estén participando con nosotros. Por favor, todos, atentos, ya comenzaremos en 2 minutos en nuestra siguiente sala. Bienvenidos a los que se están uniendo a nuestras transmisiones y muchas gracias por su participación. Congratulations, teachers. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you for
You're
having
amazing.
us.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
bien.
Danke.
Merci bien. On continue notre transmission pour le canal suivant de YouTube. Seguimos en contacto por nuestro siguiente canal en YouTube. Vamos con el conversatorio central del día de hoy. Muchas gracias a todos.